And we are back after a short hiatus. We just finished watching the Raptors and Mavs game, and we thought it's an epic game to talk about. Can't miss out on that opportunity. So today we'll talk about the Raps and the Mavs. The comeback win. We're going to talk about the Christmas games coming up next week. We got a lineup of them, and we're talking about the Raptors injury riddle roster right now. And with that,
aren't you going to introduce us?
Well, you guys need an introduction. It's been a couple of shows. I thought our audience of Saad's mom would know who we are by now. But on that note, I'm Ali. This is Abdullah. This is Saad. And we are the No Good Sports Show. Yes, I did your introduction for you this time around. All right. With that being said, Saad, you want to start us off? What do you think about today's game?
It was such a great game to watch, especially that fourth quarter. When we were down by 30, it looked like all hope was lost. And we were thinking, just call it quits, play our bench to save our squad for tomorrow. And then at that point, we're like, our bench is already playing. What do we do?
Exactly.
And then on, our bench just took off. Malcolm Miller, Terrence Davis, Ronald Jefferson, Chris Boucher, and then the leader, Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing I like is Nick Nurse kind of stayed with a lineup that took him to that point where, it was manageable lead for us to kind of come back from. He didn't put in Fred VanVleet too early, only put him in the last minute or so when Terrence Davis wasn't really producing. Malcolm Miller, and then he also subbed out Terrence Davis in the last couple of seconds. Yeah, but still, it was good, smart on his end. But at the end, I think one thing that gets overshadowed is how bad, even in the first half and the third quarter, is how bad our starting lineup, including Kyle Lowry, played. It was brutal up until, the last couple of minutes when Kyle really took over. It was bad. Serge was not even a factor. He was 3 of 11 from the night. He wasn't setting up picks, letting go of easier defensive lineups mistakes. One thing I did like, though, is how the matchup of McCaw and Porzingis really kind of limited Porzingis' shot. He was 5 of 15 for the night. When Ibaka came to help over, it was relatively effective. But I think Ibaka made a lot of mistakes on Powell. Dwight Powell? Dwight Powell, yeah. He made a lot of, helping out too much on three-point line, give him a little bit too much respect from there. I think that was my take on the game. What about you?
It was a good game. It was just an energy booster at the end of the day. Obviously, the game doesn't mean much. It's a regular season game. Obviously, everyone's looking forward to the Christmas game that's happening on Christmas Day.
That's one.
It was always a filler. We knew everyone was injured, low expectations, and not a lot of surprise when we were down 30, but just a little bit of, coming back by 30 was a huge cherry on top.
I knew, I kind of knew that there's a really good chance we'll win the game, but being down by 30, that was a surprise to me because it's just, that's not a performance you expect from the Raptors. We have been down 20 before. We shoot poorly. Today, even though we won, we only shot about 30% for the game, 29% from the three-point line. We know we have offensive issues, but today was defensive issues as well, especially in our starting lineup. So being down 30 with a Luka less mass team, I thought that was a really big surprise. So for us to, power through this game, I think you're right. It was a massive bench motivation booster for us.
Huge shout out to Chris Boucher, season career high, 21 points, 7 boards, 4 or 5 blocks. That was a very good.
You know what? There were some possessions that I'm like, oh god, damn, Chris Boucher. But then in the end, he really came up and helped us out on defensive end. So I respect that.
And Ronald Jefferson and Malcolm Miller.
Yeah, our bench.
That fourth quarter, they were so consistent. It was such just a great performance from
the biggest shout out to Kyle Lowry. Top 5 point guard in the league right now.
Sure.
No, not sure. Yes, that's the only answer I'm willing to accept right now. After a performance like that, 30 down against any team, that's respectable. And Dallas, in terms of the records, they're up there. They're almost same record as Toronto right now. 20 wins, give or take 9 losses or so. So they are a tough team to beat, and I think we did a great job. Definitely, if Luka was there, there's no way we are going to be competitive.
But then if we had Pascal,
LeBron James and Pascal, Luka obviously. Luka made the shots Jalen Brunson missed.
And one thing about Luka, it's very difficult for even guys like Fred who are great defenders to take him. He's just very crafty. He's slow. He puts up shots that just you don't expect people to make or take or hit.
Setbacks,
With that being said, I think that was a good talk with the refs. You want to tell us about your take on the Christmas game. There's a whole lineup. If you want, I can tell you all the games that's happening.
Yeah, I know there's the
Boston and Raptors.
Celtics come to.
That's the first game of the night of the day, noon.
Obviously, I'm going to back my Raptors to win it. Hopefully, we have another good performance. Our benchmark shows up. Our starting players, hopefully.
Hey, man, right now, we may not even have a benchmark. Right now, the entire team is the benchmark because we only got about 10 players right now on the team that can play. What about you?
I think assuming Siakam doesn't come back because he's out indefinitely, I think they're a much better team than Philly. They're deep in all 5 positions. Boston basically has this one in the bag. All due respect to the Raptors, though.
I think we're gonna be fine against the Celtics. I'm not too concerned about them even in the playoffs or regular season. It's just not a team that scares me. Kemba is a great player, but just nothing about them that really says, we're in trouble.
Taco Fall.
Taco Fall, I like him. I like his name.
Imagine they put him in. Who's gonna get rebounded? I mean, we had to put on Malcolm Miller today to get hype.
Hey man, it's not like we picked up our rebounds. So
fair enough.
Bucks and 76ers. Who you got?
Bucks. Bucks are the second best team in the league, or maybe even the best team in the league. 76ers. They have the personnel to be the best, but they're not. I do not like their coaching at all. Bucks, the best player in the league in Giannis right now, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, most unstoppable player, probably of all time.
All time. All right, we're taking hot takes right now. This table's burning. It's hot takes everywhere.
I mean, but I think the Bucks got Bucks. One in the bag.
I got Bucks just because 76 were not a good team.
Yeah.
You know what? Ben Simmons has still developed a jumper, and that's the only thing stopping them from taking their game from second round in the East to the NBA Finals. He develops that jumper. There's no point guard in the East or no small shooting guard that can defend him. Yeah. Right? Like you need a guy like KD up on him to just defend him at that level because he's strong. If he can shoot a 3, he can shoot a mid-range jumper. His game's evolved to a point that we need it to be. But right now, 76ers, I think they're in a little bit of slump as well. They're almost 6th in the East right now.
Yeah.
So and that's concerning. If I am a 76er fan, that'd be concerning. I think if Raptors play them anytime in the playoffs, we can take care of them easy.
And obviously Bucks, great team. So
yeah,
we have to. Giannis, the way he performed against the Lakers as well, like he stepped up. He hit 5 threes, I believe. Fantastic performance. Like I think they've got this in the bag. And going back to Ben Simmons not hitting threes and all, or even jumpers. Like I feel he's a liability for them at the end. Because they just get the ball in his hand and they know they need to get out of his hand.
Exactly.
He's not going to shoot a jumper.
Yeah.
And they're going to cover the lane for the layup or the dunk.
The paint is clogged. What about the Rockets and the Warriors?
It sounded like a good game when the
schedules came out. They're like, oh shit, this is gonna be a good game. But I think they should have a forfeit rule in the NBA where you can, just accept your defeat for the entire season and just sit out.
Yeah,
I
think Warriors need to do
that. That was logical, but yeah.
Honestly, at this point, it's depressing to see a fall like that.
Money over everything, but yeah, Rockets.
Man, at this point,
the question is how many points would James Harden draw?
I got 50. I got 50 on him.
Like 30 something, and he's gonna set out the third or fourth quarter.
I got him on for 50. There's gonna be a Christmas miracle. Actually, no, Christmas miracle. He's going for 60. Forgot about my Christmas miracles.
80.
80.
Capable of it.
He's capable.
If he plays 4 quarters, he can hit 80.
See, the last time Kobe hit 80, his team was actually down 20 against the Raptors the entire game, and he just took over. And it wasn't up until the fourth they came back.
James Harden would have hit a 60 against, I forgot who, but he had 60 after 3 quarters.
Yeah, and he sat out because his team was winning by quite a ton. All right. This is actually a pretty marquee matchup. 8 p.m. on Wednesday, Christmas Eastern time. Clippers versus Lakers.
I got the. I think I got the Lakers.
I got Lakers. I like them.
If LeBron's playing, I got Lakers.
I like their defense. I like their offense. I like their players. I love LeBron's passing. He's leading the league in assists, and I rep with him. I'm riding with him till he retires.
I actually bet on this game with a friend for a nice cap, so I'm. The Lakers won the game.
I think it's going Clippers.
Really?
Yeah. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, firing all cylinders.
Kawhi's quiet, but I think as a team, I don't know if Clippers they don't have the chemistry.
I think they're gonna beat them because we saw first of all, I don't want to compare the first game of the season because AD and LeBron didn't have that chemistry yet, or the whole team, the whole Lakers team wasn't really they weren't gemmed yet. Now when you see them, they're like, all right, that's a fantastic team. They're top 2, top 3. But Clippers are just, for me, they're too good of a team. Right now, at this point where they're not gonna suffer anything. They're gonna go. I think Paul George, Kawhi Leonard could easily come out for 85 for me.
I don't know, man. They don't play team basketball. A lot of time, it's just one-on-one basketball. It's like they create their own shots. I'm not a big fan of Clippers basketball right now. They're a great defensive team, which I love, but offensively, it's just not there for me. Last game of the night at 10:30
I think that's
p.m.
the worst game.
Pelicans and Nuggets, prime time. Well,
game.
at 10:30. Holy shit, who's gonna watch that game?
Western.
I mean, are people even supporting Pelicans at this time? Like, they're just having a disastrous season.
On paper, they had a great team.
They had a great.
It just did not translate.
I mean, Brandon Ingram's having a great season, but he's like,
can't do anything.
It's not there defensively. It's not there at all. It's actually embarrassing.
It's that type of game where like everyone now go and have a proper meal.
Yeah.
Go back to the Christmas
Go
tree.
hang out with your family.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you said, I feel bad for JJ Redick. Like this guy had a playoff run.
Yeah.
I hope he gets bought out.
I hope he gets traded.
Yeah. Like Lonzo Ball, I think it's officially a bust at this point. Like if Markelle Fultz is playing better than you,
I had such high hopes for Lonzo.
I did too.
I bet with someone that he's gonna get MIP. He's not even starting for them anymore. It's gone downhill.
All right. Our last topic of the night. There are 3 big Raptors players right now injured: Marc Gasol, Siakam, Norman Powell, alongside others. Who do you guys think will have the best comeback and the worst? You want to take that? No.
I think Siakam, he's finally getting that rest he deserves after playing like 40 minutes per night. Going injury, so nothing. It's not his shoulder or his leg that that's gonna take time to recover. It's his groin, so once it's recovered, it's recovered. As long as he stays fit, because it's indefinitely. You don't know how long it is.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. He played the rest of the game on when he got injured against the team. So I never really knew he got injured until I read the headline, and especially reading it was indefinite. That was a big shot in the head. But hopefully, I believe he'll come back the strongest.
When Danny was, before the season started, he was diagnosed with a strained groin, and he was out for almost 2 to 3 weeks. So hopefully it's a quick one, and he's back like early Jan. But I have no expectation of any of our guys playing Christmas Day. So I think that was going to be a tough one for us to pull off, but I think it's doable. For me, I think my answer is the same for best and the worst. Marc Gasol. Best because he's finally getting the rest he deserves. It's been a long summer for him. It was a tough first quarter of the season for him. Worst because, if you have a pulled hamstring, you can't really get your conditioning going. And for a guy at that age, at that body weight, who has slowed down, whose productivity offensively just kind of just went downhill, I think if his conditioning is not there over the next 2 weeks, then it's going to be tough for him to come back and play defense at the level he was playing. Yeah. But then again, he is an world-class player. I think he will be fine overall, but that's a red flag for me.
Yeah, I think for me, it's best comeback is going to be Pascal Siakam. He's just going to come back and do what he does best. Like Abdullah said, it's not like a shoulder or something like body-wise where he needs to get back in the groove of playing. It's just a slight injury. He comes back and it doesn't really affect his game, apart from maybe he's a bit tight first couple of minutes. No, I think apart from that, he's good. For the worst, I think it's going to be Norman Powell. Not because he's going to play bad. It's just he's been playing so well right before he got injured. It's so hard to keep that standard. And when you do sit out a few games, you lose that momentum. You lose that flow. You lose the energy that you're having, that flick of your shot. Having rest kind of destroys your game. And it's nothing. I don't want to take anything away from him. I think he's played really well. I think he's going to continue to play really well. But I don't think he's going to continue at that level or at the level that Pascal Siakam or Marc Gasol.
And the worst part is the same shoulder. Right, like because the league is leaning towards 3-point shots now. He ran into a tough screen again this year and injured his shoulder, so it's concerning at this point, right? Like I really hope it's not something serious, but man, I don't know how long he can really. This season, last year around, he took 20 games off. I think it's gonna be the same thing this time as well. So prayers up for Norman. I really hope he comes back strong, but like you said, it's gonna be tough for him.
Yeah.
And what I think about Pascal Siakam. He needs to improve his game. But hey, that's my opinion. People don't agree with me. That's cool. With that being said,
I think
that's our show for the day. You guys have any messages from our not existing sponsors except for Sports Trends?
And we got a mic today, so it looks really nice.
You can hear us better.
If you want to sponsor us and get us more mics, don't worry about it. Contact us on the No Good Sports Show. Also, follow us on all our social media platforms for Sports Trends on YouTube, like and subscribe, as well as Facebook and other platforms, as well as our own Instagram page called the No Good Sports Show.
And maybe you can get a better stand, because right now we've got a bunch of cookies here. And that's the show.
Thank you, and we'll see you later. Big up the Raps.
Last one question.
We're back.
Oh shit, we're not. Oh wait,
come back to say the Raps.
Come back.
I was gonna tag those cookies.
What's up?
We have got a question.
Hold on.
Do you think the injuries are bringing out the best in our bench?
No.
No, they're not. We need our players back. That's the easy one. They're not.
Have a great day.
That's not wrong.
Wait, there's one more?
Yeah.
Oh, there's two today.
Wow.
Oh
We
my
got a lot of
goodness.
viewers today.
Between the Raptors and Lakers, who's the better team?
Okay, Lakers.
I think it's Raptors. I brought this point up to Abdullah the other day. I brought this. It's a good point. I brought this point up to Abdullah the other day. Lakers have had a very easy stretch of games. Like,
Yeah.
they've not beaten any team that we haven't, apart from the Heat. They've lost to
And that was a
Mavs
close
once.
game.
That was They've lost to Mavs once and beat them once. We've done the same. They've lost to Clippers. We've lost to Clippers twice. They haven't played Celtics. They haven't played Rockets. They haven't played Sixers. Those three teams that we lost.
See, the
as
thing
well.
with Lakers is they're doing what good teams do. Like I said before, they take care of business. They beat bad teams.
I think we've done the same as well.
In terms of scheduling, yeah, we had a tougher schedule, but the remaining of the year, we have one of the easiest schedules in the entire league. I think one thing that's going to stop them is figuring out if LeBron gets injured again, like he did last time around.
Yeah.
He's out
but-
tonight. I just got the headline. He's out for
Yeah.
tonight.
See, like things like that is really going to stop them. They have a bunch of older guys on their team, like LeBron, like Danny Green, who they really rely on to create some of their offense.
I mean,
But, you
I'm
know-
scared for them when it comes to playoffs because relying on Danny Green as a
Yeah.
Toronto fan, I can tell you, don't have too much hopes.
You know what? Go back to San Antonio days, and except for
from
that
that
one time when he took off against Miami Heat, it wasn't. He's not a great playoff or a final player. Like he's just not. He's a great 3-and-D regular season player.
Yeah.
So in a playoff, it will be an issue for them. But right now, the way the league is looking, the way our records are, I think Lakers are better just because they are 24-4. And that's a big deal, regardless of who you're beating. Raptors, offensively, we are not even on the same page as the Lakers.
Yeah.
LeBron's distributing the ball. He's taking care of business there. We're not at that level, so we need to pick it up. But I think
Fair
that.
to say.
Oh, we got one more?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Is it the same people?
Yeah, no.
All right, we got more than 3 beers
Is
today.
Kyle the greatest Raptor?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Heard it here
Hands down,
first.
hands down. He's been here. For
Not the best, but he's the greatest.
Oh, he's the greatest. And he's the so best. I don't like to pass those
No,
out.
the best is quiet.
The
The best Raptor of all time and the greatest Raptor are completely different things.
What is the difference?
The best Raptor is the best player. Vince Carter,
Kawhi.
Kawhi are better players than
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard. But in terms of like legacy and greatness, it's Kawhi Leonard. I mean, sorry, it's Kawhi Leonard.
I don't know. I mean, for me, whatever you say is Kyle Lowry. Like, for me, Kyle Lowry is above all, and I wouldn't go for more.
I think we've
All right, we're done. Are we done with this show?
We've ended the debate about Kyle Lowry being traded. We're going to keep him this season. We're going to go for the ring, right?
We are not doing anything with Kyle Lowry. He's here to stay.
here to
He's
stay.
retiring, and I think with that being said, we're gonna end this damn show. See you all next time, Christmas Day. We'll be back, and that's our live feed for the day.
Thank you, and we'll see you later.